Guy Verhofstadt has lashed out at Brussels' response to the Afghanistan crisis, blasting the EU for its inability to take a stance. The Belgian MEP argued the EU has once again acted as a passive bystander, urging Brussels to open its doors to Afghan refugees. Mr. Verhofstadt said, "Big questions over chaos in Afghanistan. One thing certain, EU is again a passive bystander while it will be essentially Europe that will deal with the fallout, offer a home for Afghans who are now most at risk and set up a common EU system to manage it." The comment comes as Greek Migration Minister Notis Mitarachi said on Tuesday that Greece does not want to become the entry point into the European Union for Afghans fleeing the escalating conflict in their homeland, as he called for a common EU response to the crisis. Greece was on the front line of Europe's migration crisis in 2015, when nearly 1 million people fleeing conflict in Syria, Iraq and Afghanistan landed on its islands, and like other EU member states, it is nervous that developments in Afghanistan could trigger a replay of that crisis. "We are clearly saying that we will not and cannot be the gateway of Europe for the refugees and migrants who could try to come to the European Union," Mitarachi told state television ERT. "We cannot have millions of people leaving Afghanistan and coming to the European Union. And certainly not through Greece," he said. EU foreign ministers will hold a crisis meeting on Tuesday to discuss the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban, and Greece has requested that the issue is also discussed at a meeting of EU Home Affairs ministers on Wednesday. "The solution needs to be common, and it needs to be a European solution," Mitarachi said. Unity between EU member states over whether to deport failed Afghan asylum seekers crumbled last week. Military flights evacuating diplomats and civilians from Afghanistan resumed on Tuesday after the runway at Kabul airport was cleared of thousands of people desperate to flee after the Taliban seized the capital. The number of civilians had thinned out, a Western security official at the airport told Reuters, a day after chaotic scenes in which U.S. troops fired to disperse crowds and people clung to a U.S. military transport plane as it taxied for takeoff. Runway in Kabul International Airport is open. "I see aeroplanes landing and taking off," Stefano Pontecorvo, NATO's civilian representative, said on Twitter. By afternoon, at least 12 military flights had taken off, a diplomat at the airport said. Planes were due to arrive from countries including Australia and Poland to pick up their nationals and Afghan colleagues. Under a U.S. troops withdrawal pact struck last year, the Taliban agreed not to attack foreign forces as they leave.